So in part one, we didn't use any color yet. We just used mark making and veiling with black, with pencil, with water-soluble graphite, and we created about 8 layers. And the measurements, which I finally got around to doing, are 22 by 30. And this grid can create 16 5 by 7s, which I intend in the end to use as cards. I'm going to attach them to a larger piece of watercolor paper so they can be within lots of white, within a mat, with a white frame most likely. And what's inspiring me today still, if you haven't checked out my other mini series of these, I will leave a card in the video. And these, I think it's at least 10 or so layers using transparent collage, pen in the end, which I love to use at the end for those final details. So they will also look great in a mat. So this is a 5 by 7 within an 8 by 10 mat. Let me check that. Yes. So using standard framing dimensions is another great way. So here it is. I decided not to take it apart too early, which is something that I don't usually do, and it's great in your practice to do things you don't usually do. So you're starting to think out of the box. And in this series, we started off with very dark, rich cerulean blue, and then it eventually lightened up. This time, it's starting with that beautiful light blue right away. Now, if you find a watercolor paper can handle this, that you would like to remove, or the surface isn't sliding, use a spray bottle and just spray the sections you're working on at that moment, you see? And now you can get some watering you can add. You might even get some puddling and some interesting marks that just happen. And that's the fun of this. You might get the odd drip, which is really cool. And I want to add some energy, as you can see. And I'm not going to zoom in right now. See how you change the angle and you can scrape some away. Okay. So while I'm drawing, I was looking over at my palette and I thought, wow, I really love the combination of, almost the pure, aqua green with this blue. So I think since I have big blue area, I'm going to add a little mark. With probably just this brush. So I'm going to use a little bit of the blue. I don't want it absolutely. I just think, and it's a lot more opaque, but I think I want it to be lighter in value. Now sometimes I don't like what the brush does, and I find if I just go over it with one passing of my brayer, it just improves the mark somehow. There we go. Okay, so now I'm even going to use a smaller brush to add that peach. I think I'll use my smaller color shaper. And noticing that it's a very light value, I'm not wanting to put it so much inside the blue as to more where there's some lighter tones. Lighter value. That's what I meant. It can be beside, and I want to overlap and go different directions. So there's that one. So I want to see some pure peach with white. I might want to put it over and look at the coolness that it's creating. So this is sort of like a medium shape. Not a large, not a small. And you'll find you'll place things diagonally or not, or just apply one mark. But I like to balance it because I don't know which way I'm going to end up turning it. I know I want them long. Usually the heaviness or the base will say or speak that it needs to be on the bottom. Okay. So already I feel I'm going to, oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, no, I'm not. Let's just do a little bit of pink in the peach. So whatever I've done, it won't change the composition. It'll just add to the subtlety. So we've got quite a few layers on here now. Wow. And in the end, if I don't like the pink too much, I will use a collage piece to go over it. Okay, so I just want to add 2 more layers for this phase, which is phase 2, and this is part 2. And if you're new here, welcome, because this is where we discover our true art one layer at a time. I'm going to now just do a little veiling, and then I want to come in with a stencil. But the stencil this time is not going to be black. I think I want it to be white. So let's clean off the color shapers as we're needing them to be nice and clean. Now, what areas might I be thinking of veiling or pushing back? Veiling is complete, complete coverage. Pushing back is just a thin layer. So I think I just want to still think pushing back. And thinking that peachiness might be too peachy. So I'm going to go where there's some white paper showing and create some more white space, which will probably quiet quiet it down so it'll add a little more negative and push back that peachiness and maybe even some of the blue if it's just too loud. But notice I'm carrying it from a white area. Okay, so I think that is plenty for this face. And what I'm going to do off camera is take these all apart so they will end up looking like this. And then we can look at them, just take a quick peek at them because that'll be part 3 for next week. And as you can see, using transparent layers can be really fun. Keeping your palette simple, just 2 or 3 colors with black and white, so you're thinking more in value. And I will show these at the end, and I hope you have fun creating in your studio using multiples, and enjoy the end, and I will see you in the next video. I just had this crazy thought in using white with the fine line applicator. And I never did end up using this, the bamboo skewer. And I really, watching my last video, it makes a really cool mark, but as I can see, I have enough of that kind of jagged mark. So that's why I didn't end up using it. And let's see what this will do. Okay, that's it. So any tips, subscribers, for using the fine line applicator and it not getting clogged, of course, remembering to put the lid on, shaking it up. Maybe it's too thick. Maybe I need to add water or something. I would love to hear what you have to say about that. And now it's ready to dry, and I will be taking it apart, so you'll get sort of a sneak peek for what we're going to do next week. So, happy creating, and I'll see you in the next video.